into these settings once we get everything. It's
Oh,
all
wait, wait,
fixed.
right.
Okay, go ahead and
Okay,
let's
cool.
restart the
Okay,
review.
so yes, I finished the Batman Arkham series. Played them all except the Riddler challenges, which I acknowledge are actually necessity in the plot of Batman Arkham Knight, which is actually going to end up being points off for me. And I'll talk about that later. But basically, they tried, like, the Riddler challenges are not stream-worthy content. It's just pinpointing a thing on the map and then going to find something, lining up two pieces of a puzzle and taking a snapshot of it. Just random garbage like that. It's very tedious and very time-consuming, and just doesn't make for entertaining content. We tried it briefly during Arkham Asylum, and the unilateral agreement was this is not something you do on stream. It's something you do off stream. But the problem is, as soon as you finish it, it triggers the end game scene. So you're like, oh, well, now I didn't capture that. So it was a little bit foolish. It was developed by Rocksteady Studios. This is Batman Arkham Knight. Developed by Rocksteady Studios. It was released on the 23rd of June in 2015. I played it on PC, which is where I've always played the Batman Arkham games, but it is also available on PS4 and Xbox One. What did I like about it? It's just another Batman Arkham game. The voice acting is phenomenal. The graphics are fun. The aesthetic is beautiful. The storytelling is top-notch. So it's just a very standard, expected Batman Arkham experience. I was saying to chat when we played the Harley Quinn DLC that if Harley plays anything like she does in the DLC in the upcoming Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game, I'm going to be very happy. Everybody plays and feels as they should. So that's just a giant positive. It's hard to get Batman wrong, really. You do dark and gritty and give it good voice acting with a good story, and it's going to feel like Batman. What did I not like about it? The Batmobile. Someone on IGN, I believe, said that the Batmobile segments are about the least Batman thing you could possibly do.
That's sad.
Right from the first stream. Well, you would think, well, no. Investigating and flying around the city. Those are the two Batman things. Like, come on. They predicated an entire trilogy of games before Arkham Knight on just those two things alone.
True.
And combat, of course. So driving the Batmobile around, RPD made the joke that it felt like I was playing the Grand Tour game again without Clarkson, Hammond, and May. Like, to the point where I would do the Jeremy Clarkson voice almost every time I got in the Batmobile.
What does that mean? Like, what about it made it feel?
It's just a racing game. It's just a driving game.
So
you drive around the city. There's no point to it. And then occasionally you turn into a combat-ready tank and start blasting things that are in 360 degrees around you, so you can't physically look at them all.
Yeah, I see you rolling around right now.
Yeah,
in the tank.
It's good timing for that. Yeah, the Batmobile segments are absolute garbage, and the Deathstroke fight is in the Batmobile.
Ooh.
It's like, no,
I hate that.
That's not what Deathstroke does or is about.
Right.
Sounds terrible.
You just fight him in the Batmobile, the same as you fight anything else throughout the game, and then there's a quick time event to apprehend him. And I was livid. I mean, yeah, I was noticeably angry to the point where the chat was like, "Can we just? Is there a way to just skip this bit? Because this is, clearly we're enjoying this, but you're not, and that's a problem." So yeah, the Batmobile segments are absolute dog poop. The other thing that I really didn't like is how they utilize Joker. Joker was killed at the end, spoiler alerts, of Arkham City. Yeah, and they brought him back as a component of Batman's conscience. They still had Mark Hamill voicing him, which is always great. But it's like this. It just didn't feel like the Joker was part of it. Like, it felt like he was forced into the story.
I mean, that's a good concept to have it be like part of Batman's psyche now, especially since he killed him, that guilt and all that. But if it feels like it was shoehorned in instead of feeling like something that like flows naturally as part of like his inner monologue, then that I can see why that would
almost like it like seems like they thought they made a mistake killing him in the story, and they just like wanted to use the Joker.
Pretty much, and like he'll just like appear on a rooftop and talk at you for a while. That's kind of all he does. Or if you die, he'll be like, "Oh no, bats! I didn't kill you!" Blah. It's like, okay, this is just annoying at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a bummer. It just felt like a disservice to the Joker after how prolific a villain he was in the first two Rocksteady Studios games, and I mean he wasn't really in Origins all that much. So yeah, that was a bummer. The story was phenomenal though. Like in general, they did this really cool twist on. Well, okay, spoilers. Cover your ears if you don't want to hear this, but the Arkham Knight is Jason Todd.
Okay.
And I was like, oh wow, like Jason is that unhinged that he would become a serial killer beyond the Red, like way beyond Red Hood, and then sort of settles into the Red Hood afterward.
Did you watch the most recent season of Titans?
No, I haven't watched Titans at all yet.
Never mind.
That's okay. Yeah, so the story was really cool. The integration of all the villains. They did a Gotham's Most Wanted segment where it's all side quests, it's all optional, but you feel compelled to do them because they all contribute a little bit to the main story. Mm-hmm. So the story was incredibly engaging to the point where I wanted to dive in on every single subquest. Barring, of course, the Riddler challenges because they're just tedious and awful. The gameplay in general was very fun. If I was fighting, if I was doing a stalker mission or a predator mission rather, and kill death from above sort of stuff. If I was investigating, if I was ripping the hell out of a circuit box and re-hot wiring it or something like that, anytime I was being Batman and doing Batman things, it was incredibly fun gameplay. My one big question mark is they changed the controls up in between this one and City. So I sat down to start playing this game and I had to completely relearn how to play a Batman Arkham game.
That's weird. Is it the same developer?
It is the same developer.
That's an odd choice,
and Origins, which happened in between City and Night, which was not by the same developer, was the same controls as the other two.
Weird.
So I'm like, that's a very odd decision.
I wanted to unstale in it, maybe. They want it was
but choosing a side mission and choosing your gear and stuff was all on the D-pad, and I'm like, why? You've got other buttons for you've got a perfectly good system that works. Why are you breaking this? So it wasn't a big deal. I learned it pretty quickly, but it was frustrating for the first half hour or so. And then even still, I could never remember which of the D-pad buttons did what function. Right up to the very end, I would press all the D-pad buttons trying to find the right one. So it was frustrating. But in general, the gameplay is extremely fun, with the exception of the Batmobile. And they throw that stupid Batmobile at you every possible chance they get. You're in there 15, 20 times over the course of the story. And it's like, why can't it's closer for me to just take to the skies and fly to the next generation. Why are you forcing me to drive the stupid Batmobile? Why am I carting Poison Ivy around? Why am I?
Strange way to make a game feel very disjointed.
Exactly. And I was like, man, this is some tedium. So it does lose some points there. As far as the story, it's like a 9 out of 10. It's so good. Obviously, there's some bits that I would have done differently, like the Joker thing. But all in all, very good. Gameplay, again, loses some points because of the Batmobile segments. It's more like a 6 because of how often they force you to do the Batmobile stuff. But if you take the Batmobile stuff out of it, it's, again, like a 9. The art and the aesthetic is brilliant. The best the Batman franchise has ever been. It's dark and gritty, but also real. You can change the bat suit to annoy Prime in chat one time. I switched to the Dark Knight costume because I could. So that was, they give you a lot of different options, a lot of customizability of the way you want Batman to look. I think I finished it in the Tim Burton costume, which was
When you were in the Dark Knight costume, did you talk like Christian Bale?
Of course I did.
Oh God.
Until my voice gave out, and there's only so much GT's kombucha in the world, not a sponsor.
Right.
The music, again, I have no idea because I was streaming it and I had to mute it because it's copy protected.
That's fun.
Thanks, Twitch. Real helpful.
Well, on WB too, like there's plenty of games you can play the music from the game on Twitch, but you know, WB is one of those companies that will hit you with that copyright strike instantly.
Exactly. So that was, I'm going to say that it's an NA out of 10, not applicable out of 10. Cannot rate. The sound design, it's awesome. The voice acting is perfect. It's not Christian Bale. What's the guy's name?
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy. Thank you.
I was about to say
Mark Hamill,
the only Batman voice.
Yeah, correct. It's all the best voices from the entire franchise. It's perfect. The voice acting and the sound design, absolute 10 out of 10. Not even a single point off. How long did it take me? It did take me longer than the other Batman games, and I think part of that is because of my compulsion to do all the side quests on camera. The other ones, I did all the side quests off camera and just said, "Hey, look, I did the thing," because there's no connection really to the story. But the more criminals you apprehend in Arkham Knight, the better the story ending becomes.
Nice.
And the more conclusive it becomes. So it did take me noticeably longer, but that's a good thing. That's not a problem. Was the game difficult? No, other than the Batmobile segments. I died a ton on the Batmobile segments because they're just so miserable and not fun. They are not fun. Would I play a sequel? I mean, we plan to. We've got Gotham Knights coming up on This Is Difficult Versus, as well as Suicide Squad Killing Justice League. But I like the fact that those are all multiplayer, and we're going to play those together. It's going to be great.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, like I said on stream, if Nightwing and Harley play the way they played in Arkham City, or Arkham Knight rather, I will be a very happy camper because those are my two characters. Those are the ones I've called dibs on.
Yeah.
And so we intend to play a sequel on that one. So here comes the overall rating. And oh dear. If you take the Batmobile segments out of this game, my enjoyment level was right up there with Metroid Dread. I gave Metroid Dread, I think, an 8.7. And so I would put this at the same level as that. I mean, it was the same kind of enjoyment, the same feeling, the same, like, yes, I did it. But then you throw the Batmobile segments in, and the highest I can give this game is a 7.
Damn.
Yeah, it
That's
absolutely
powerful.
tanks the rating.
It tanks.
Pun intended. It's just absolutely awful. And the Deathstroke thing, I knew it was coming because I'd heard it spoil. I was like holding out hope that wasn't what it was about, that it wasn't just a dumb QuickTime event and a bunch of Batmobile stuff.
Ugh.
And then it was. And I looked dead in the camera. I cut back to my face cam, looked dead in the camera and go, I hate you, chat. I love you, but I hate you for making me do that. It was just...
they make you play that game.
Well, to make me play that specific subquest. I was just like, damn, this absolutely tanks the rating. It's not an expensive game at this point. You can get it on sale pretty much all the time, and you can get it for dirt cheap. If you enjoy the other games, just know that you're going to be in for a lot with the Batmobile, and you'll still enjoy it. Go in knowing that, and you'll still very much enjoy it. But it is what it is. And I hope Rocksteady learns from that with Suicide Squad, because I don't want any more car stuff. That's like, if I want car stuff, I'm going to go play Forza Horizon 5 or Grand Tour. I don't want that in my Batman. You can do cinematics in the Batmobile. That's fine. But don't make me drive the thing again.
Interesting. Wow. Right on. Does that wrap it up?
That's my review. That's my review of Arkham Knight. I look very much forward to Gotham Knights and to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. But let's hope they learn.
Yeah, for sure.
Basically, you're saying this is the worst level. This is the worst Batman game, is what you said, basically. Just
absolutely.
The worst of this series.
It is the worst of this series.
Okay.
Yep.
Damn.
Just wanted to clarify. Damn, by like a good 10 points.
10.
Yeah. Yeah, he's no full point. Like
10
tenths of a point.
10 tenths of a point.
10 moves. I don't know.
All right on. All right, let's switch back over and we're gonna talk about some Game Awards stuff. So here we go.
Yeah.